All right, Shalom, Shalom. This is your brother Shamak out of the Great Millstone Atlanta camp. Before I get started, I want to give all the glory, infinite praises unto Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rachak Wadash, Yahweh being the Heavenly Father's true name, and His only begotten Son's true name being Yahweh Shai, both in the Hebrew language, whom the world incorrectly calls God and Jesus Christ. Also want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well and who are the true leaders of the Hebrew Israelites within these last days. Also want to give a shalom to all the sincere brothers that's pushing teaching truth worldwide, and shalom to all you sincere listeners and you sincere believers out there. Okay, held a lesson primarily concerning secular history regarding the Patricians and the Plebeians of the Roman Empire. All right, basically land backing and stemming from the verses of Revelation chapter 13, verses 11 and 12. Okay, so just to hop right into this. All right, this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 11. All right, and this will actually back up, all right, the true doctrine that were taught by the apostles and elders, man. All right, and it's backed up through secular history. It's backed up through research. All right, and it proves the scriptures to be true. All right, and we're able to witness this in today's time. All right, through the Democratic and Republican parties. Okay, these power structures, these power systems. All right, through politics. Okay, so this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 11. And it reads, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, as he had two horns like a lamb." And those horns representing power. Okay, and he had two horns like a lamb. And who is that? Who's over these systems or these empires or this beast? All right, the so-called white nation, Esau, Edom. All right, same as it were for the Roman, as it was for the Roman Empire, the same as it is for today. Okay, it says he had power. It's like he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. All right, and why? What is that lamb and the dragon symbolizing? That lamb is going into the characteristics of the so-called white man. Let me grab that. All right, how he may come off innocent, may come off blameless, may come off humble. All right, but that's the cunning. That's the cunning act of this nation of people, and the Bible forewarns us of that. All right, that's why you have in the world the term. You got to play the politics, man. Okay, this is Psalm chapter 55, verse 21. It reads, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Yeah, I'm laying back in that off. Hey, what? He comes off like a lamb, comes off innocent, blameless, harmless. Okay. But it says, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So we understand that, and that drawn swords and that war in his heart is going into that dragon, that draconian, his harsh ways, man. He's gonna show his harsh ways through his legislation as well, through those executive orders. All right, the so-called man, he's about to show it. All right, he has everything written down and planned. Okay, the same way that he was very violent. All right, during the Roman Empire, it's the same way in today's time through America, was sitting on top of this beast system. All right, that beast system truly representing NATO and the European Union. All right, NATO standing for North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which started off with about 10 countries, but has grown and increased to over 30 countries in their alliance. Okay, with America being the front leader. All right, and this whole establishment and infrastructure is led by the so-called white man Esau, Edom. Okay, true, being their true biblical identity. All right, and those two horns and those two power systems, all right, are going into, all right, your patricians and plebeians of the ancient Roman Empire, which would be today your Democratic and Republican parties. Okay, verse 12. I'm gonna read verse 12, and we're gonna back that up with research. Back that up with sources. Okay, verse 12, it reads, "And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him." All right, and what does that mean? That today America through the beast system, all right, the European Union and North Atlantic Treaty Organization is basically the revival of the Roman Empire. It's basically reincarnated. Okay, because of why? All right, through its laws, legislation, its architecture. All right, look at one example. Look at its military might, the symbolism of the eagle. Okay, being that prime logo. All right, for the nation. It says, "And causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Okay, and we know this is not referring to the Greek Empire or the Medo-Persian Empire or the Babylonian Empire or the Syrian Empire. Why? Because those empires were led by a monarchy. All right, one head. All right, one head leader. All right, the Greeks, the king Antiochus. All right, in this inheritance left it to it the four generals. Okay, you got the Media Persian Empire. You had King Darius, King Cyrus. All right, and so on and so forth. All right, the Babylonian Empire with the Syrian King Nebuchadnezzar. All right, these were monarchies. All right, but what made Rome different? They were a senate. Okay, they had a senate. They had elections. Okay, they had ruling class. Okay, and this was about to show that. But I'm gonna read verse 12 one more time. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them. So basically, America and this beast system has taken the same settlement, the same laws, legislation, the same way of doing things. All right, as the Roman Empire. All right, it says, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. All right, yeah, and it's being healed as we see today through America. All right, primarily. Okay, so just to start with I guess I'll start with the Patricians. Okay, all right, this has to do with what? Ancient Rome. Okay, Patrician, it says any member of a group of citizen families who, in contrast with the plebeians, formed a privileged class in early Rome. Okay, and you after reading through the characteristics of these two different classes, you will obviously be able to correlate which one with the modern day, all right, ruling political class. Okay, but let's see. Let me grab it in PBS. Let me grab Patricians. All right, because I have the same source basically in the for Patricians and the plebeians, as you see. So this is let me exit some of these out. All right, so this is Patricians. All right, in the pbs.org. Okay, it says sitting at the top of Roman society were the emperor and the patrician classes. Although they enjoyed fabulous wealth, power, and privilege, these perks came at a price. As Rome's leaders, they couldn't avoid its dangerous power struggles. All right, look, you see it as a subheading, life of luxury. It says, as absolute ruler of Rome in its enormous empire, the emperor and his family lived in suitable style. They stayed. Oh, that's going into the emperor. Let's go on down to the point. Let's get to the point. Straight to the point. All right. Patricians. All right. So it reads, ranked just below the emperor and his relatives. The patrician families dominated Rome and its empire. The word patrician comes from the Latin patris, meaning fathers, and these families provided the empire's political, religious, and military leadership. Most patricians were wealthy landowners from old families, but the class was open to a chosen few who had been deliberately promoted by the emperor. All right. So what is this? What if looking at it today, this easily seems like this sounds like the Republicans of today's society. All right. The Republicans of America. Okay. These characteristics match perfectly. They match up perfectly, man. Okay. So I read this part one more time. It says most patricians were wealthy landowners from old families, but the class was open to a chosen few who had been deliberately promoted by the emperor. Okay, so let's get this. All right, let's get this from see, it says patricians were the elite class of Rome. All right, so let's get this same source, pbs.org, but for the plebeians. Okay, same source. All right, same source. All right, so let me get that at the top. All right, so now this has to do with the plebeians. All right, from pbs.org. Okay, and it's going into, or it reads, Rome's working class, the plebeians had little individual power. Grouped together, however, they became a Roman mob and had to be handled carefully. By the 1st century AD, plebeians comprised a formal class which held its own meetings, elected its own officials, and kept its own records. The term plebeian referred to all free Roman citizens who were not members of the patrician, senatorial, or equestrian classes. All right, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Okay, but going on down. Oh, let's get this, working class heroes. It says plebeians were average working citizens of Rome, farmers, bakers, builders, or craftsmen who worked hard to support their families and paid their taxes. All right. Now the patricians, they were still taxed as well. They were taxed as well, man. This is the same. This is the same world reincarnated basically through America. Okay, their life of luxury came at dangerous power struggles as well. All right, their life of luxury. Okay, they were taxed as well. Okay, the same way Republicans act up in today's time. So let me get that. Let me read that back. Our working class heroes with the plebeians. It says plebeians were average working citizens of Rome, farmers, bakers, builders, or craftsmen who worked hard to support their families and pay their taxes. That sounds like Democrats, if you ask me. That backs up the scriptures. Okay, what other empire could this possibly be relating to? I'm thinking upon the Democrats and the Republican parties. All right, and the people. Okay, it says over the course of this period, early forms of public welfare were established by Titus and Trajan, and in difficult times, plebeians could ask Roman administrators for help. See, that's the Democratic Party right there, man. No way around it. The truth is in the pudding. It says we know much less about daily life for the lower classes, such as plebeians. Unlike the more privileged classes, most plebeians could not write, and therefore they could not record or preserve their experiences. Hit it right on the head. It says, let's see what else more it has on it. It says, some plebeians who were doing reasonably well, middle class, aka middle class, upper. I really want to say upper middle class, might try to save enough money to join the equestrian class. For many, however, life was a daily struggle. But although individual plebeians had little power, there were a lot of them. In bad times or during political unrest, there were always the risk of the Roman mob rioting or rebelling against the upper classes. Does that not sound like the same things that take place today? All right. First ones in the streets are your liberals and your Democrats. First ones in the streets. First ones making an uproar. All right, against the upper class, against the Republican and those that support the Republican stance. Okay, it's the same. It's the same things happening. Okay, no way around it. Let me see if this gave any. Let me see what this source. But those two sources from pbs.org about the patricians and the plebeians. Patricians basically being your Republicans today, and the plebeians basically being your Democratic Party today. All right, in this modern time. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is the same thing basically being addressed. Yep. See, it said at one time the plebeians were originally excluded from the Senate. See, originally excluded, man. All right, so let me get you know what, that'll cover that point. I reread Revelation chapter 13 verse 11. So now after reading those sources from pbs.org, these verses of verses 11 and 12 in the chapter of Revelation chapter 13 makes even more sense, So this Revelation chapter 13 verse 11, one last time. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb. All right, those two power systems. All right, two power systems within the government. That's where the true power lies, man. All right, in those offices. All right, and we know above those offices as well, the governors and the mayors. All right, and the Senate, the Congress. Okay, the Parliament. Okay, all those the three different branches of the government or whatnot. We know there's the elites and bosses above those. All right, but the power is there. All right, and he says he had power. It's like he had two horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. And this is through their legislation. This is through their laws. All right, they write wicked decrees, man. Because once they have these things in writing, then they act upon these things. They act upon these bills that they pass. They act upon these things that they vote upon and that they push through. Okay, and they veto others that they don't want to get with. Whatever it may be. Okay, he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. All right, that's going to come through his legislation. Then the action is going to follow it, and we're about to witness that in these times. Okay, verse 12. And he exercises all the power of the first beast, and that being one major way would be through this Democratic and Republican parties. All right, through the Senate, through election. All right, through voting. Okay, they're exercising that same power, the same way things were done for the Roman Empire, the same way Esau, Edom, and the so-called white nation are doing things for today's infrastructure. Okay, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. So even though the Roman Empire did fall, okay, it did fall through truly through the fulfillment of Bible prophecy as it was supposed to, all right? But it's living again through the Edomites and through America. The Romans were still Edomites, all right? The deadly one was healed, okay? It was basically healed, man. Okay? So, Lord willing, this one to emphasize those particular two verses and show that the scriptures, that when it speaks upon this beast system referring to the Roman Empire and it being revived through America and in this beast system with its alliances with a European Union and NATO, that this is secular history proven. All right, this is evident. This is truth. All right, and there's no way around it. Cause what else two horns would this be? What else power systems would this be? All right, how else or what would this beast? Well, you have to answer all these questions piled on top of each other. What is that deadly one was healed? Who was the first? What was the second one to come after it? All right, and basically understanding these political parties and these systems of the Patricians and the Plebeians and the Democrats and the Republicans basically back up the improving Bible prophecy. Ultimately, okay, and that's just one that's one source, that's one aspect, okay, to basically prove, all right, these such things, okay. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying and also encouraging to all you sincere listeners and you sincere believers out there. I want to end up by giving all the glory, infinite praises unto Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Repent, Yahweh Shai is coming back. Repent, Yahweh Shai is coming back. Because this also shows that we're in the last days, man. All right, so shalom and keep the faith. Shalom.